back to my channel. My name is Crystal. For those of you who are new here, on this channel I talk about all things fashion and lifestyle. If you're not new, then welcome back, girl. So today is Vlogmas Day 7, and I just thought I would come on here and talk about something that, you know, we don't typically talk about around this time of year, you know, especially during Vlogmas. We typically, you know, with Vlogmas, you know, we share, you know, we're sharing like the cheery side, the happy side, you know, like the behind the scenes of like the good stuff, right? But we don't really talk about, you know, the not so cheery part of this time of year, the holidays. And one particular thing we don't share or talk about enough, I feel like, is grief and dealing with loss during, you know, the holidays. Because when you think of the holidays and when we're celebrating the holidays and just participating in all the activities that we participate in the holidays, you know, a lot of people are going through things and dealing with grief around this time of year because it brings up memories of loved ones that we've lost. And especially if you've lost a loved one around this time of year, like it can become, you know, this daunting thing, you know, like, and have you thinking, you know, about ones that you've lost, especially around this time of year. And, you know, you're grieving and you're going through things and you see just happiness, but you're still feeling what you're feeling. And so I just wanted to come on here and just talk about it and, you know, talk about how to deal with it and how to cope with it. And I hope that this video in some way will, you know, help you, you know, in your, you know, your grief process, right? And it's something that I feel like people can relate to. And I definitely can relate to it now because recently haven't addressed this on my channel before. I think I've talked about it before, but I never addressed it. But this past August, my mother-in-law passed away. And so my husband's mom passed away. And we've just kind of been dealing with that, to say the least, dealing with it. And it's been hard because, you know, especially around Thanksgiving, because we would go to her house and spend time with her and the family, you know, on Thanksgiving. And this year that didn't happen. And, you know, now we're coming into Christmas and we won't get to see her, you know, for the holidays. And so it's hard, to say the least. And I'm sure, you know, other people can relate to this. And one of my good friends just lost her father. So it's a hard time, to say the least. And, you know, I'm trying to push forward and I'm trying to push through, but it's just that part of you that's just like you want to grieve, and you should be able to do that. But you want to move on, but you still want to be able to, you know, think about the happy times and remember that person in your life that meant so much to you. And our mother-in-law, or my mother-in-law, meant a lot to me. She was a huge, vital role in my life. I've known her since I was a teenager, you know, and I'm in my 40s now. So that's a long time to know somebody, and a long time for somebody to have an impact on your life, for you just to try to forget about them. Because that was me. That's, you know, everybody grieves differently, right? And my way of dealing with it was, you know, let me just, you know, try to move on and forget about it. But how can you forget about somebody that you've known basically most of your life, who's had a huge impact on your life? You can't just forget about them, no matter how much you try, you know, and you shouldn't. That's not fair for you to forget about them. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, and it's part of, you know, the grieving process and how to get over it and how to cope with it. One way is just to feel what you're feeling, you know, whatever you're feeling, it's okay to feel that. If you know, I don't care if it's someone that you lost, you know, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Grief is grief, and there's no time limit on it. You know, we try to move on and move past it, but there is no time limit on it. If you don't feel what you're feeling and you continue to let it just build up and build up, you will explode. So if you feel like crying, cry. If you feel like, you know, screaming, scream. You know, don't let that emotion, you know, stay there. Let it out, because you have a right to feel what you're feeling. And don't let anybody tell you that, oh, you should have moved on by now. I don't care. Like I said, I don't care if it's been 10 years since the one that you loved has passed on. you still have a right to grieve that person, especially if they meant a lot to you, especially if they were near and dear to your heart. You don't have to get over that. You can move on for sure. And I'm gonna talk about that in a minute, but you definitely should not forget, and you definitely should not try to move on from them, you know, and from their memory, because like I said, that's not fair to you, you know, and it's not fair to their legacy, and that's not fair to them. You know, they had a huge impact on your life. Why should you forget about them? You know, so that's one thing that I would say is definitely, you know, feel what you're feeling. You have a right to feel that way. Don't let anybody tell you that you should have gotten over this, or make you feel some type of way because you still hurt. You know, like I said, during this time of year is when typically we think about our loved ones, right? Because this is the time of year where we're with family, we're friends, you know, we're going to different, you know, people in our lives, you know, going to their houses and spending time with them. And when you have someone in your life that's not there, and they were the person that you went to, you know, or that you visited, or that you went to go see around this time of year, and then all of a sudden they're not there, it could be, you know, daunting. You know, it can be, you know, like shocking, because it's like, oh my God, like this person that I've known for however long, I don't care if it's just been for a year, you know, if they had a huge impact on you, then it doesn't matter the amount of years. So, and then finally, like, you know, like I said, and they're not there, it's like, man, you know, you just feel hurt, you know, and you just feel all type of things, and all type of emotions go through your head. So feel what you're feeling, and allow yourself to feel that, and don't forget about, you know, the impact they had in your life. Because if, like I said, if they had a huge impact on your life, you shouldn't forget about them. But number two, we should definitely move on. You know, try to move on, continue to try to get through life without them, and continue to make them proud. You know, when my mother-in-law passed, I took, you know, a whole hiatus from YouTube. I stopped posting it, you know, on social media in general, because I just felt like, what's the purpose? You know, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, this seems so frivolous. You know, I just lost someone, a huge role model in my life. What's the point? You know, I just was like, YouTube is just, in social media, why would I do it? You know, it just makes no sense. But I had to remember that, you know, this is something that I love, and something that I'm passionate about, and I still, you know, I have to move forward. I can't just stop just because, you know, I'm feeling what I'm feeling, you know, just because I'm hurting, and, you know, I'm grieving, you know, and I'm going through all the, you know, the things and emotions that you go through when you're grieving somebody. You know, I can't just stop. I just can't, you know, stop what I'm doing and, you know, stay where I am. I have to continue to move forward. I have to continue to make her proud. You know, I have to continue to make, you know, that person in my life who meant so much to me proud, because they're rooting for me. They're not here, but I know they're still rooting for me. So I can't stop what I'm doing because, you know, they're not here. That's not fair to me, and that's not fair to them. I can't stop my life because they're not here. You know, I can't stop progressing and you know, moving forward because they're not here, because that would be doing an injustice to them, because they did have a huge impact on my life. So I have to keep moving. They would want me to keep going. You know what I mean? So don't stop. You know, don't allow the grief and what you're feeling to overtake you to the point to where you just want to give up and you just want to throw in the towel. Because again, like I said, that's not fair to you. That's not fair to them, especially if you've come a long way and they've helped you come a long way. You want to continue to go. You know, think about all the things that they've taught you. Think about all the things that you've learned from them, you know, and just continue on in that legacy, because whatever they taught you, you have to continue on and you know, and in some kind of way pay it forward, you know, to somebody else. You have to, the impact that they had on you, you can have that same impact on somebody else, you know. So don't stop. Continue to go on. Continue to, you know, to live your life. You know, continue to make them proud. Continue to, you know, go on in their legacy, you know. And if anything, you get up when you get up, you know, every day, just tell yourself, you know, I have to keep moving. I have to keep pushing. I have to keep, you know, keep moving forward. And that's one way to kind of cope and deal with the process of grief, is just to continue to move forward, you know, and continue to progress, you know, and not stay where you are, and not, you know, stay in your bed for, you know, 2 and 3 weeks. Like I said, feel what you're feeling, but then snap out of it and move forward, you know, and, you know, try to find something productive to do. You know, try to keep yourself busy, you know, because it just helps you just to get over it, you know, and just kind of helps you to move forward. You know, it helps you to get out of that funk, because we all go through that, right? Like, I mean, I can't tell you the amount of funks, you know, that I've gone through since, you know, she's passed, you know, because she was my mother-in-law. I'm speaking of, she gave great advice. You know, there wasn't a time where, you know, I couldn't go to her about something and she wouldn't have the thing to say, the right thing to say. She always had something, you know, profound to say. And it may seem, you know, small, but it was profound to me, right? Because it was what I needed when I needed it. So it makes it hard, you know, when, you know, that they're no longer here and you want to be able to go on and, you know, call on them or just be in their presence. You know, my mother-in-law, she had this aura about her that just being in her presence, she didn't even have to say anything. You know, just being in her presence just made things better. Like, you just felt good. She just had that sort of spirit about her that, just like I said, being in the room with her was enough. Like, she didn't have to say a word. Just her smile and just her attitude and just her, you know, like I said, her aura just was positive energy. It just she exuded positivity, and just to be in the room with that, you can feel it, and it was magnetic. And so that's what, you know, I miss, you know, and especially around, like I said, around the holidays, when you need that kind of aura, you need that positivity, you need that energy to help you to get through, you know, and it's no longer here. So it's hard. But, you know, like I said, I have decided that, you know, I'm not gonna forget about that, you know, that I want to, in ways I want to be like that, you know what I mean? In ways I want to be like that, and I want to have that. And I don't know what she did to get that, you know. I think a lot of it had to do with her spirit and, you know, her you know, spiritual life and her relationship with God, you know. That's how she got that, you know, and just her personality in general, you know. So it was all the things, really. So in ways I like I said, I want to, like, be like that, you know. I want to be, you know, that light to people, you know, that positivity to people, you know, which is why it's like I can't stop YouTube, you know. I can't stop that, because I feel like in some ways I'm paying it forward, you know. I'm being a light to somebody, you know. I'm encouraging somebody. I'm helping somebody to continue to press forward when they feel like giving up, you know. I want to be that type of person, you know what I'm saying? I want to be that light. And it takes work for me, because I'm a very introverted person and just a very private and closed off person. But in the same token, I want to have a positive effect on somebody's life, because I in turn had someone who was a positive effect, had a positive effect on me. So I want to pay it forward. So, but you know, like I said, this is going to be a short video, so I hope that, you know, you got something out of it. But the main takeaway that I want you to get from this is that to feel what you're feeling, you know. Don't dismiss that feeling. If you're hurting, allow yourself to hurt. If you're grieving, if you're, you know, in denial, if you know, you want to cry, just allow yourself to feel that. You know, you have that right to feel it. You know, you would be inhumane, you know, if you didn't have those emotions, if you didn't feel it. If you have to go somewhere by yourself, honey, like, just go, you know, away by yourself. You know, if you don't want anybody to see you cry, if you don't want anybody to see you grieve. But grieving is part of life, you know. Loss, you know, we lose people. If someone has a problem with or an issue with you grieving, then that's on them. That's not on you. You have a right to feel what you're feeling. And, you know, like I said, if that person meant a lot to you, then you definitely have a right to feel what you're feeling. But continue to move forward. Continue to move forward. Continue to make them proud. Continue to be an inspiration to other people, you know, and pay it forward. You know, what they did for you, you do for other people. The way they helped you, you help other people. That's how you honor their name. That's how you honor them. That's how you continue to allow their legacy to go forward and to flourish. So I hope that, you know, this was helpful for you. I hope that, you know, if you're in a funk right now and you just feel like, you know, the world is just, you know, caving in on you, and you just feel like, oh, everybody's so happy, and I'm, you know, and I'm here, and I'm miserable because, or I'm, you know, sad and I'm depressed because my mom is not here, my dad is not here, my brother is not here, my uncle, whoever, my best friend is not here, you know. Allow yourself to feel that, but don't feel like you're by yourself. Trust me, because you know, especially when it comes to social media. We know people on social media, including myself, like I said, I haven't shared with anybody that, you know, what I went through or what I've been going through. I've just been trying to move forward. But that doesn't mean I haven't been dealing with it. That doesn't mean that, you know, there are some nights where I've cried. That doesn't mean that there's some nights when I'm just like in denial and just upset and angry, like why did this happen, you know? I'm still feeling those emotions, but you don't see that. So just because you don't see people dealing with stuff and you think, oh, everybody's, you know, just having a good time and I'm just, no, you're not by yourself, honey. You're not. Trust me, you're not by yourself. There are other people that are, you know, feeling the way that you're feeling, and you should allow yourself to feel that, and don't feel like you're by yourself, because you're not. And you can make, you know, you can get through this, you know, as the saying goes, this too shall pass. You know, and you'll get over it and you'll get through it, and you know, you'll continue to press forward. Just allow yourself to feel what you're feeling and just, you know, continue to press forward. So but that's it, guys. I hope that you know, found this video helpful and insightful, and if anything, it just will encourage you to, you know, continue to press forward, and you know, to continue to move on, and you know, be an inspiration to somebody else's life, because that's what life is about. You know, it's not about being selfish, but it's about helping other people, and you know, helping other people to just, you know, make it through this life, you know, and get through each day, and you know, make things just a little bit better, you know, for somebody else. So but I hope that you got, you know, got something out of the video, and yeah, so I will see you guys in the next video. You know, don't forget to, of course, like always, like and subscribe if you like the video, and I will see you guys for, I think, Vlogmas Day 8. I'm not sure what I'm gonna have on the agenda for, you know, Day 8, but I guess we'll see. I guess you have to stay tuned to see. So but yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. All right, bye guys.